Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. It's Stephanie here with TheFlowerFanatic. I'm laughing because I'm doing an update on my bloomed forest bulbs, and as you can see, they're not looking that awesome. So I have to admit, this is my first time doing it, and they were starting out so strong. I had them chilling for a while. They started to form some leaves, and then they were looking really good, especially this one. And I'm just laughing because all I can think of is Toy Story. Have you ever seen that movie? The Land of the Misfit Toys. I have to admit, this is my first time doing it. I was so excited about this. I had envisioned these beautiful 25 blooms. And as you can see, these have been blooming for a little while. I only got 2. I guess we can kind of count this one as being a bloom because it's the same color, this leaf, so maybe that counts. Anyways, I can laugh about it now, but as it was happening, I was putting a lot of time and investment in these bulbs. All I can think of is this one. It was like if you're starting to run a race or starting to work out, you're getting really excited and you go so hard at the beginning and then you have burnout. That's kind of how I want to describe these ones. I have learned a few things. When things like this happen, I get really obsessive and I have to try and figure out what the problem was. So I have some new tulips, some new hyacinths, some new daffodils that I'm gonna plant and start over because I gotta figure out what was wrong. But I have learned a lot through this process, which I think is part of the learning curve when you do something new and for your first time. Anyways, comment down below if I'm not alone in this. I was so sad when I noticed these were not going to be developing how I envisioned. So I'm going to take a little bit of close-up and show you what I think went wrong. I'm going to show you some extra special ones. These ones have been really, really awesome. I'm going to show you why. Okay, before I get on talking about the mistakes I've made, I just want to take a look at these. These are so interesting. The bulbs look nice and healthy. It's been moist, it hasn't been too wet, but look at what's going on here. And they're all doing the same thing pretty much. They're all just sitting there. They never grew. Starting to form adventitious roots. That's basically roots that are growing where they're not supposed to grow. Please someone answer and solve this problem for me. I have not found anything that talks about tulips growing roots through their leaves. I would really appreciate if somebody knew this and told me why, because it's driving me nuts. All right, let's talk about this one that I was most excited about. I do have to blame a lot of this on my impatience-ness. Is that a word, impatience-ness? I don't think so. That's okay. It's my new word, I guess. But I didn't let them chill long enough for all of these. I needed to let them, well, this one not so much. This one actually did chill longer. And also, so I didn't let the roots establish enough, and so they got nice green growth on the top at the beginning, but then as it tried to grow more and more, it just couldn't keep up with that energy that was being used without having sufficient roots. Okay, also, as you can see, this bulb is really small and not very healthy. Let's compare it to this one. So these started off, I wish I could show you underneath. I am going to do some more, but these ones were a lot bigger and more plump and healthy looking. These small ones, I just don't think they can handle that much energy. So you want to start out with some really healthy ones. And then watering. Get yourself a well-draining pot, a more shallow-rooted one. Or shallow pot, not shallow-rooted. An overkill as far as soil goes. That whole thing is filled up. And I just thought this pot was really cute. And I thought, that's going to be so cute for my tulips. I didn't take into consideration that probably wasn't going to be great for my tulips. So I'm learning. But basically, they only need this much space. Sometimes they don't need any space because you can see them in water and they just have them growing in like some pebbles with some water underneath. So they really don't need any of that. So next time, I'm just gonna plant these a little bit taller. Not in this pot, I'm gonna try a new pot and just make sure the bulbs are above the surface so I don't get that bulb rot. Okay, let's take a look at the hyacinths. Oh. These bulbs do seem a lot tougher. I feel like if you're gonna go for a forced bulb, go with hyacinths. They are a lot better in my opinion as far as being able to handle all that energy and requiring what it takes to grow indoors. But these ones, These ones I just didn't leave in long enough. I didn't let them establish a root system. Let's take a look at one of these. So I'll show you. They are really nice and big and healthy, but look, there's no roots. Take a look at this one. I'm willing to sacrifice. See, there's like a few roots. So that makes them a little bit more stout. So you want to let that green growth come in, have resistance to roots, and then feel that resistance, and then put them in a nice cool spot in the basement, and keep them moist but not soggy. So keep them watered. I think I didn't water them enough. I was a little bit worried at the beginning of overwatering, so they kind of were dry. So I'm gonna water a little bit more, just make with a mister. So it's a soft water so they don't get soggy. All right, guys, are they starting to remind you more and more of the Toy Story toys? You're gonna have to go watch that movie and you're never gonna look at it the same. Look at my daffodils. Look how cute that one bulb is. Anyways, I had so much hope. They all kind of started out the same. This one is so stout, and I can't really answer why that one would be so stout. I think it probably has to do with the chilling. And let's take a look. I'm gonna pull it out just to sacrifice this bulb for your guys' purposes here. Okay, so it has a pretty good root system. I did actually keep these a little bit longer in the chiller, but I can't really explain why they're stout. Please answer that one for me, because I didn't do anything different with these two. Anyway, these ones are never gonna grow because there's no roots. They're just gonna stop. Okay. Keep them in a temperature of about 35 to 45 degrees. I'm not gonna rush this process. I'm gonna let them take their time until I see a nice amount of growth, and then make sure that they have a lot of nice resistance. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is fertilize them, especially with my tulips. I'm gonna give them a little bit more phosphorus. So I'll probably use the indoor Miracle Grow potting fertilizer, just because that's what I have. So I'll show you real quick right over here. I know Jack's fertilizer is something you can use, but this has a lot of phosphorus in it. Hyacinths, I'll just make sure to keep them all nice and moist. I am gonna pull out one of these just to show you what they look like. See, those ones have nice root systems. I think that these just don't like to be forced, this particular variety. I don't think this has anything to do with what I did. Oh man. We can see that one has no growth because there is no roots, but anyway, I think maybe with these ones, they were in too warm of a climate, that maybe they didn't acclimate correctly and started out from cold to too warm of a spot. So I put them in my basement in my south-facing windows. They were bright, but I thought it was cooler down there, and it typically is cooler everywhere. But it happens to be in the two spots I put them, there was a nice heater right below the windows. So they were getting a lot warmer than I wanted. So you want to put them in a bright spot once you take them out of the chiller, and make sure it's a bright, cooler spot. So maybe around 55 to 60 degrees. Try not to get above 65, because that's how it is for them in the outdoors. No, I lost all credibility for my previous forest tulip video, but I was willing to take the risk because I feel like it's more helpful, and it's better sometimes just to show your vulnerability and know that sometimes you don't succeed, especially in gardening. It was my first time. All right, well, okay, we'll try again. I'm gonna show you another update, and I'm excited to see what happens round 2. Okay, like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.